Welcome back to another episode of Back to the Drawing Board. I'm Alec, and today we're taking a look at the Minnesota Vikings. In a season where injuries costed them their season, the Vikings have some big question marks across the board. And just a season ago, they went 13-4, won the NFC North, didn't make it past the wild card round though. So with that, they have some crucial choices to make when it comes to their upcoming offseason, their draft, their free agency. So with that said, let's take a look at the upcoming draft. I think their biggest need coming into this season is the defense. We know the offense has weapons across the board. You got guys like Justin Jefferson, obviously. You got Jordan Addison, KJ Osborne. You have Alexander Madison. They have a good team. It's just a matter of what they can do. So with that said, I have them going defense in this draft. They need defense. They're going to use their first-round pick on a defensive player. Now, I think they need to go with a corner. I don't think their secondary is all that great. So with that said, I have them taking Terrion Arnold, corner out of Bama. Arnold's a perfect fit for the Vikings' blitz-heavy defense that is under Brian Flores. He didn't allow a single touchdown all season on 445 coverage snaps. He's a great corner. He's one of the top in this draft, and I think he's a great fit for this Vikings defense. So moving on to their second-round pick, this is a big-time pick that they have to make. Are they going to let Kirk Cousins walk? He's going to be looking for a big contract. He's coming off an injury, really bad one in the Achilles. So with that said, in the second round, I think they're going to go out and they're going to get Michael Penix Jr., a QB out of Washington. We've seen him in action and how he's done in his college career. He really flourished this past season under the Washington system. And it's clear that the Vikings can't really get over that hump with Kirk Cousins. And this also frees up cap space to end up paying Justin Jefferson. So with that said, moving on to free agency, Vikings have around $25 million in cap space. I think they should just use it all to pay Justin Jefferson. We know who Jefferson is. We know how he is as a player. He is the best wide receiver in the game of football. He could end up being one of the greatest wide receivers that the NFL has ever seen. He can run, he can catch, he can block too. This guy can do clearly can do everything. And if they don't want him to leave, they don't want him to walk, they don't want him to complain about a trade, they need to pay him. He is worth every bit of money they're gonna give him. The guy has broken records. His first, I think he's going on his third season now. The guy is a superstar. I think that when it's all said and done, if he's on the right team, he's going to be the greatest wide receiver to ever play the game of football. Whether he gets rings, who knows? The stats speak for themselves. He is the best wide receiver in the NFL, and I think he deserves all the money that they get him. Moving on to the head coach, Kevin O'Connell. I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan of Kevin O'Connell. I think that he is not the best coach for the Vikings. However, it's too early to tell. He's only been there for 2 seasons. I think that he can turn things around. He definitely can. However, he has a 20-14 record with the Vikings. I don't know what he can do. He has a great roster. I think this season will be huge to see how the Vikings front office wants to proceed with O'Connell as their head coach. I was a big fan of Zimmer. Zimmer couldn't get over the hump. Brought in O'Connell. O'Connell obviously hasn't gotten over the hump yet. This past season was only his second year. So we'll see what happens this year. I like their coordinators. I really like Brian Flores. We've seen his success with the Patriots. Great defensive mind. He won rings with the Patriots. guy's a winner. I think that he's going to step it up this year. I have a lot of faith in this Vikings team. I think that when they're fully healthy, they will give the Lions a run for their money in that NFC North race. So with that said, here are all the changes I made to the Vikings this episode. And that's going to do it for another episode of Back to the Drawing Board. From the UCTV studio, I'm Alec Bean, and I'll see you next time.